we're not all on meth. We're not all drunks. We're not all the same. When I was 15 years old, 10 days before Christmas, my father woke up, had a heart attack, and died. That's when I became confused and sad and didn't know for sure what direction my life would go in.
My mom got married to a guy and was a little bit rough. Actually, yeah, it was abusive. It was really abusive, and it scared me as a kid. I couldn't imagine somebody reacting to somebody like that.
Too many men along the way that I didn't know I shouldn't trust. They filled me with false hopes and false promises.
I just remember just my reaction to this guy, how he made me feel, how I froze, and after that I just my attitude changed. You know, I think I kind of adopted some of those behaviors, you know, that aggressiveness.
I was in a domestic violence situation that I had to get out of, plus all those homeless years from not being taken care of in my marriage.
Starting to fight kids and, you know, put some of those attitudes into action. And I went to Lake for a couple years. That's yeah, it's like a youth prison. It's like for serious offenders, for the youth offenders. Went there for a couple years, got out, and I was in prison for aggravated robbery for the next 16 years. You know.
Welcome to the Food and Care Coalition.
I was homeless. Do you like serving these people?
Yes.
It does impact people in the way that, I know a lot of people come in and they volunteer and they maybe came in with a church group or their business group and, they didn't think much of it, and they get here and then they see the reality that somebody had to sleep on the streets last night and they had to do so with inadequate clothing or covering. And they're like, this is America. How can this happen here? Sometimes this can be a heavy load, a heavy burden, knowing that I left today and somebody's still out on the street. And you just have to do the best you can.
Had all the appetites anybody has when they get locked up. You want to be around girls, you want to eat, you want to have fun, you want to do all the stuff that you missed out on. So I was hurt, broke, not producing, not contributing, and I still had all those, appetites, and I was just running around, and all that just led me back to prison real quick. And it was a few times after that too. I mean, I went back and forth, and I'd get a little bit right, a little bit right.
We had to live in the truck yard. I had to wash my dishes with water bottles and disgustingly scoop out the toilet, and I mean, it was just awful. It was awful. And
eventually I got sick. They went in, did an MRI, and they said, "Hey, you got this tumor in your head." I'm like, "No, what's it about?" They said around the time I hit puberty, that's probably when this tumor started growing on my pituitary gland, and it grew and grew, and it started pushing my eye sideways on the optic nerve. They took the tumor out, and with it, all that extra I was used to, I'm not extra no more. I got de-hulked.
I couldn't stand the disgust anymore and didn't know what to do. So I called up my girlfriend, and she picked me up, and I slept on her couch for 2 weeks.
I'm homeless and just had nowhere to go, and now I'm sitting there. I have no money for gas. I'm sitting in this car. I'm afraid someone's gonna steal all this crap. So I don't go anywhere, and I just sit there in the sun, cook. I can't even drive to the shade, you know, and I was just miserable. I just like, man, so I was like, man, here, give it, you know, at the time I was thinking I was just gonna go to prison anyway, so I was kind of planning that, so I just gave my car away, and I was just in the parking lot, and, you know, with my wheelchair.
So when I had those 2 weeks, I had my interview process for Food and Care Coalition, and it's not an easy thing to do. It's a little intimidating, but it's well worth the process.
And then that's when I ended up getting into the coalition.
So they just gave us our aprons, and now we're gonna watch this little video. We're gonna change the world. Are you ready?
What do you do here?
I'm the kitchen manager.
Jared, what are you doing here?
I'm having a good old time. That's what I'm doing here.
I just put all of the rolls in here to make, I'm not sure what yet.
Mind if we join you guys? Awesome. How long have you guys been here?
Oh, I just arrived yesterday. A few weeks now.
A few weeks?
I've been here about a week now.
This organization, how has it changed your guys' lives? How has it affected you personally?
Infected me great. Got free meals and got more, I get to save money on my gas and go places. And also they got me new clothes so I can probably get me a job, hopefully move up the ladder.
I had told them, I said, I don't have any interest in this job if you just want to be a soup kitchen. Like Christ feeding the 5,000, I don't think it was his end goal. I think he realized if somebody's so preoccupied with basic necessities that they're really not maybe going to pay attention to maybe a higher message that might be out there.
Man, I'm glad I'm not struggling for food. I'm glad I'm not, you know, struggling to have to find the bathroom. You know, those are really horrible struggles.
So it begins with our meal program that's done in a very uplifting environment, and then people are connecting to showers, laundry, hygiene kits, clothing.
Doesn't matter how clean you are, like you sleep out, you get stuff in your nails, and I don't know how, it just covers you, man.
We got a medical and a dental facility on site.
I was able to get a oxygen condenser for the rest of my life.
And what I didn't know, because I hadn't been going to doctors, is I was actually taking the wrong medication that was making things worse. When I did get them, I was still hurting, but night and day, you know. So then I got out of my chair and started walking around.
Agency partners from elsewhere in the community. So we have the Mental Health Authority, Wasatch Behavioral Health, that provides therapy and group classes.
My therapist, his name is Paige. Paige is phenomenal.
We've got our own transitional housing program and case management. We have new apartments that are permanent supportive housing.
And then each individual apartment has a plaque outside the door, which is a positive affirmation. So when you first walk in, you go, I get to see this every day when I'm walking in and out of my door. And how kind of it was some person to do this for us.
And we expand our services through a number of partners. We have probably 20 visiting partners.
It's not one organization here, it's this fantastic group of kind people that are communicating with one another. They're one person or another is saying, I've got this idea.
Everything from people that donate bikes through like the Bicycle Collective to the VA to a group that will occupy this space pretty regularly, My Story Matters, and a curriculum that they've developed specifically for people coming out of either the jail system or people experiencing homelessness that is going to empower our clients out of poverty.
To be empowered is a wonderful suggestion of what this whole world back here, tucked in the back corner of Provo, Utah, the empowerment of the kindness of others to give their skills and knowledge to us to make all of us better people.
And that's really what we're trying to do here overall as an organization, is we're trying to provide practical tools, meet them where they're at, serve them in the capacity that we can, but then provide them with the tools that they can go out and improve and enhance, you know, the value of their life.
When they first start coming to this place, they're all having a double bag, backpack, and trench coat or a bunch of clothes on and coming like this all the time. Then pretty soon, they end up getting help or somebody else helping them off the street, and then they become more happier, and confident.
And to inspire hope that, you know, I don't have to carry this label of homelessness my whole life. This can be a temporary label. And for many of them, that's a revelation.
Gospel is what? Good news. It's simply good news. That's what gospel means, good news. And the Word of God is always a continuous good news. But these people are part of that. That's why it's so important. When I come back here, clean and sober, I didn't need to eat. I don't need that, but I needed the reminder. And I needed to pay, my homage to these people, because they did help me. They're like, hey, Brandon, how you doing? You having a good day? Oh, yeah, I am now. You know, and that's what it all comes down to, is that connecting.
I had a dear friend who said, Annie, people come into our lives for a reason, a season, and a time. And absolutely, I am 100% a believer of that.
Some of the behaviors, I just didn't want to get in trouble. I just didn't want to get caught. Now it's at a point where I really, you know, these people smile at me every day. If I fell or if I, messed up, that would affect them, you know. And I don't want to disappoint them, you know. And so that is where I haven't just shifted. I'm actually trying to become different, you know. I'm sharpening my teeth just in a whole different way, a different set of teeth, you know.
One of my favorite paintings here is a painting by Liz Lemon Swindle entitled Seeking the One. And it's a picture of Christ with outreached arms. And the picture, there's nothing else in the picture, and it's facing you, and you're that individual. And so for me, I think the value in this facility is seeing whoever that one is connect, seeing volunteers being in that role where they're the one that connects, that makes the difference.
How was this experience for you guys?
My favorite part was seeing, the people. I feel like you always make assumptions about people who come to places like this, and they were just all super happy and grateful when I would bring them the food. They would say, God bless you. And
do you like serving these people?
Yes.
Why?
Because I feel good inside my body.
To all staff and therapists and women that work at the front desk and the kitchen, and to all the people that take many hands to do one job, which is to love unconditionally, I thank you.
Here we are, we've finished our experience here at the Food and Care Coalition. It really has been something amazing. It's been really cool to be able to meet these people and make some sincere and real connections with some people that sometimes are marginalized or judged because they're on the streets or because they've had a hard past. We can find it within ourselves to help these people, whether we're serving, donating our services, or filming a little documentary like this. It truly does touch the heart. So we hope that you can make it out here with us.
Attention! Provo, this place is very good, exposure good.